In this lesson, you will learn how to record a macro in Microsoft Project. So we don't have any file here with any code. We're going to start from a blank project. So open up a blank project in Microsoft Project. And here I have my blank project. Here we're going to learn how to record a macro. There are two main ways to start recording. To start recording a macro, you can go to your View tab and then go all the way to the right where you see the macros button. Open up that menu and click Record Macro. If I hover over it, it says Record Macro. Each of the commands you perform will be saved into the macro so that you can play them back again. The other way to do it is if you have this Developer tab that we added in a different video, we can go and click on Developer, and then we can click on Record Macro. If you've done VBA coding in Excel, you know that Excel has a button down here to start recording a macro at the bottom left of the window, but we cannot do that in Microsoft Project. So now we want to start recording our actions. So first we're going to click on Record Macro, and here we get a pop-up window that's called Record Macro. You can change the macro name here so that you can identify it later, but I'm not going to change it here. I'm going to leave it as macro 1. And then you can also put a shortcut key like we learned in a different video. Again, I'm not going to change that here. And the third option is to store macro. So for me, it says that it will store it in the global file, or I can choose to store it in this file I'm on right now. This macro is going to be just for this file. You click on this project. If you want this macro to be available every time you open a blank file or any file, you're going to put it on your global file. The global file is also known as the global template, or is also known as the global.mpt file if you need to know that. For this example, I'm going to put it in this project. So I'm going to click on this project. Here in description, you can also add a description, whatever you want. I'm going to leave it as is. And now you can click OK to start recording. So as you can see here in my developer tab, it says stop recording here. I used to say record. It changed the name here to stop recording. So when you're ready to stop recording, you'll click on that. We're just beginning, so let's keep going. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start typing in here. I'm going to put task 1, enter, task 2, enter, and task 3. And then I'm going to select this top task, and I'm going to go to my tab task, and I'm going to select this background color, and I'm going to pick a background color of blue, pick this light blue. And these last two tasks, I'm going to put a different color. I'm going to put this light green. The other thing I want to do is this first one, I want to change to bold. And lastly, I want to change my view. I'm in Gantt chart, and I want to change it to a different view. Let's open it up. And I have all these different types of views. So I can change it to task board right here. And now I'm in task board view. So I can go ahead and go to my developer tab and click on stop recording. To get to my code, I can go to the developer tab and then click on Visual Basic or click on Alt F11 on my keyboard. I'm going to click on Visual Basic. And here my Visual Basic editor opens, and remember I saved my code to my project 1 file. So I'm going to open this module. So I'm going to double click on module 1, and you're going to see all this code that was recorded by the recorder. And so what we want to do is clean that up a little. There's too much going on here, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to put an extra line. Now that we have deleted the top lines, if you want to check what each line represents, we can go to our left side. I rearranged the windows for us so we can see the schedule. You can do the same. And I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to click on Blank Project. So I have a blank project right here. So I can start going through the code right here. If I click on F8, so let's go through each line. So we're going to go F8, F8. The first line enters the task name. So this is adds first task. And then when we run F8 again, you can see that it went from task 1 to the next line. And then if I click on F8 again, it actually added task 2. So we're going to add a space, 2 spaces right here. And you can see it selected the task first, the next row. So that's row 1. It goes 1 row down in the name column, and then it enters task 2. So we know that it's going to go down again, and it's going to add task 3. And I'm going to guess that then it's going to go 1 more row down in the column name. So we're going to add some space right there. And then right here, I'm going to go ahead and add a comment. Here it adds second task. And then it goes to third row and adds a third task. Then here it will go down 1 more row. It'll go up -3 rows. Go up 3 rows. That's what I'm guessing. So let's go see if that's happened. So let's add the third task. So I'm going to click on F8. And it went down 1 row. And now it's going to add this value task 3 to the field name. So F8. And there you see. And now here it's going to go down 1 row on the name column. As you can see, it's right here. But we have here to go up 3 rows because it's a -3. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. So let's click on F8. And it's back to task 1. And in task 1, we're going to apply this color right here. So if we want to give some space right here to make sure that we put in changes color right here. And we're going to click on F8. And we can see it's a light blue. So we can put here light blue. And I'm going to guess that the next 2 lines are for our next command. And right here, it's going to go down a row. So it's going to select a row down, and then the height is 1. That means that it's going to be selecting 2 rows, okay? So let's click on F8. And as you can see, it did click the next 2 rows, and it's going to change the color. So we click on F8, and you can see it's a light green. So we're going to separate this a little bit more. And I'm going to put the comment here. I'm going to put go down 1 row and select 2 rows. And here you're going to put in that changes the color to light green. And then now that we're here in this line, we can go and click F8. And you can see that it selected row 1 down of the one that it had selected, and then the column name. And then we're going to go again and select task field -2 rows. So it's going to go 2 rows, and it's going to be the column name. This is because I selected many cells at the same time. So I'm going to click on that. We might not need that. And then here it's going to change the font to bold to be true. So let's separate that. And here we're going to say change font of name column row 1. And then here it's going to select the next row. So click on F8. And then it's going to apply the view task board. So let's click on F8 again. So it seems like this we did not need at all. So we're going to take that out. And we're going to put change view to task board. Then we can click on F8 and it's complete. So if we go here back to our Gantt chart view, we can see that we have here our task exactly how we wanted them. And we can X out of here. We don't want to save changes, no. And we're going to add a new file. We could have added that again to our code, but here we are in a new file and we're going to run our macro. So I'm going to click on run. And you can see it quickly ran the code that we created. So now you can use it as many times as you want. And when you come back in here, you can see what each line of code does. This code is, of course, generated by the VBA editor. But when you're writing out code to be more concise and to be more readable and to do things more efficiently, you would probably use a different method. But if you need quick ways to run, record, and then run the same actions over and over again, this is a good technique to use. So in this lesson, you have learned how to record a macro and then go over each line to see which lines you needed and what each line did and added comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel, Math Schedules. Let me know in the comments if you have something specific you want in a video. Don't forget to share this video with others that may find it useful. Thanks! See you next time!